This is Jonathan Capehart from MSNBC. On Friday, October 21st, this Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist started off his interview with Joe Biden with the following statement.
Mr. President, I'll be honest. I'm scared. Millions of Americans are scared. They're concerned about the concerted attacks on democracy, on voting, and how that's going to impact the midterm elections.
And Capehart is scared because 2 weeks before the midterms, Republicans are well positioned to take back the House and the Senate, which is why Joe Biden has been stepping up the fear-mongering.
I think we're at one of those inflection points in history where we've reached a point where there has been such a division that you have what I call the mega MAGA Republicans who are think that it's all right to threaten violence.
You gotta love that it wasn't an issue with Democrats during the summer of George Floyd, but suddenly it's those damn mega MAGA Republicans that are threatening violence. But here's a challenge. I dare you to find me one Republican politician currently in office or running for office anywhere in the country that is calling for violence. Oh, right, you can't.
When I saw those folks down in Charlottesville coming out of the fields carrying Nazi swastikas, torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile that was sung at the time in the 30s in Germany, and accompanied by the white supremacists.
And if you know anything about Joe Biden, I think you know what he's going to say next.
And the president was asked, what did you think? He said, there are fine people on both sides. No president's ever said anything like that.
Joe Biden and the media have been perpetuating this lie for years, despite the fact that there is no video evidence that President Trump ever called Nazis or white supremacists very fine people. Let's roll the tape.
And you had some very bad people in that group, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Again, for emphasis, President Trump said, I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists because they should be condemned totally. In other words, Joe Biden is a pathological liar. Next, Joe Biden started talking about how he served in the Senate 100 years ago.
I mean, hell, I served with Jim Eastland, Strom Thurmond. You know, I served with really conservative members of the United States Senate. But afterwards, after we'd argue like hell, we'd go down to the Senate dining room and everybody'd eat together.
So to be clear, Joe Biden is bragging about how he would hang out and eat lunch and dinner with segregationists and how it was a good thing.
And even back in the old days when we had real segregationists like Eastland and Thurman and all those guys. But at least we end up eating lunch together.
So you see the difference, right? Trump condemned white supremacists and Biden ate lunch with them. Anyway, the most talked about moment of the interview with Capehart was when Biden was asked if he was going to run for a second term in 2024.
I have not made that formal decision, but it's my intention. My intention to run again. And we have time to make that decision.
And then it appeared that Biden may have nodded off mid-question.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President. Oh.
Now, did Joe Biden actually fall asleep? Maybe, maybe not. But clearly Jonathan Capehart's reaction didn't help matters.
Mr. President. Oh.
Dr. Biden thinks that, my wife thinks that I...
So later, during a walk and talk, Biden was asked whether people should be concerned about his age.
You know, and that old joke, you know, everybody talks about the new 70s, 50s, and all that stuff.
So Biden just said that 50 is the new 70. Not that it matters anyway, because Biden's going to be 80 in a month.
It could be, I'm a great respecter of fate. I could get a disease tomorrow. I could, drop dead tomorrow.
What?
I think it's a legitimate thing to be concerned about anyone's age, including mine. I think that's totally legitimate. But I think the best way to make the judgment is to watch me.
Okay, Joe, great idea. Let's watch, shall we?
I know well, celebrating Diwali about a few days ago, it was also Kamala's birthday. Happy birthday, great president. We know.
So this is now the 6th time publicly that Joe Biden has referred to Kamala Harris as the president.
Happy birthday, great president.
And during those same remarks, Biden completely butchered the name of the new British Prime Minister.
Just today, we've got news that Rashid Sunak is now the Prime Minister.
81 million votes, guys. Then, on October 18th, Biden got confused and started talking about 3 different Supreme Court decisions at once.
The right that I pushed hard and it finally got changed, the married couples in the privacy of their bedroom, I'm thinking about the Dobbs decision. I'll get to that in a second.
Except the Dobbs decision, which overturned Roe v. Wade, had nothing to do with allowing gay couples to get married in the privacy of their bedroom or whatever. Nope, nothing to see here, guys.
Watch me. I'm asking the American people to remember how you felt. How you felt the day the extreme Dobbs decision came down and Roe was overturned after 50 years.
Well, about half the country felt pretty happy about it, so I don't see Joe Biden's point.
And by the way, it's not just affecting your young generation. It's affecting children, moms, grandmoms, grandpops, all the entire generations.
So limiting the right to unpregnant yourself affects grandmoms and grandpops? Ugh, my brain hurts. Then on Wednesday, October 19th, Biden took part in a Now This News forum where he made several false claims about guns.
I don't think that the these assault weapons are just that. They're made for one reason, to kill people.
No, dummy. The AR-15 is categorized as a modern sporting rifle and was designed for multiple purposes, not just for self-defense, but also for hunting and target shooting.
What purpose is to have a gun that a bullet can travel 5 times the speed of an ordinary bullet?
So according to Joe Biden, the AR-15 is some sort of super weapon. And Biden has made similar claims in the past, and here's the most egregious example.
Do you realize the bullet out of an AR-15 travels 5 times as rapidly as a bullet shot out of any other gun?
You see what he's doing, right? He's lying about guns to scare people. That's it. And it should immediately disqualify Biden from being involved in any conversation regarding your God-given Second Amendment rights. I, for one, will not be taking lectures about guns from this doddering imbecile, and neither should you.
My legislation says there can be no more than 8 bullets in a round, okay?
So Joe Biden is saying that he wants to limit 8 bullets in a bullet. Makes sense to me. What's your problem? Or, on second thought, maybe he's for legalizing 8-round bursts. And if that's the case, you son of a bitch, Joe, I'm in. Anyway, that's it for now. Follow me on Twitter at Don'tWalkRun, and be sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. As always, I hope to see you next time. If there is next time.